What's happening, bass players? Ryan here from BassMatter.com, taking you through the core bass learning program. And in this lesson, we're going to talk about modes and have a great intro conversation to this exceptionally powerful piece of music theory and how it might just unlock and revolutionize everything you've ever done on bass. Let's get to work. Modes is such an empowering piece of music theory. It is really a simple concept to understand, and it really makes exploring the musical process of being a bass player so much more vast and so much more expansive. However, I know that I'm guilty of this myself, where I've ran into music theory concepts and ideas that I lacked the correct foundational information for. So I want to suggest, before you go through the modes video, if you're not already familiar with your notes on your fretboard, you'll want to go back and learn the notes on your fretboard. If you don't already know your major scale, you'll want to go back and review my video on major and minor scales. If you don't know what the diatonic order is, and that's a big one, make sure you go back and review the diatonic order. Because a lot of people, when they think of modes, they are referring to what are actually called the church modes. We're talking Ionian, Dorian, Phrygian, Lydian, Mixolydian, Aeolian, and Locrian. Modes is a concept of music where you rearrange a pre-existing pattern. But when people are talking about modes musically, most of the time they're referring towards the church modes. And what it actually is a very simple process. Let me show you what a mode is. We're going to use the C major scale today. Let's make sure that we play the scale to its entirety. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. The major scale, as it sits right there, is a mode. It is called the Ionian mode. I'm turning my bass amp up a bit so I can hear myself. Let me play that scale again. There we go. Now I can hear it. Major scale, Ionian mode. Let's look at the notes again. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. Okay? Let's leave those letters up there for a second. That is called the Ionian mode. So if you already know your major scale, you already know one of the 7 modes. Now what we're going to do is we're going to play those exact same notes because we are in the key of C, right? If we're playing the major scale, that is identifying what the key signature is going to be. So from here, let's take those same notes, but I'm going to start on the letter D, okay? So I'm going to play all the same notes again, but I'm going to play, as opposed C through C, I'm going to play it D through D. So I've got D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D. That is the second mode. That is called the Dorian mode. It is really that simple. Let's take a look now at the third mode, which is Phrygian. We're going to start on the 3rd scale degree of the C major scale, which was the note E. And I'm going to play all the same notes again, but go E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E. And as you can imagine, this process continues throughout the entire rest of the system. A mode is a simple concept. We're taking our major scale and we are identifying the 7 notes that make up that major scale. And then we are playing them in order one way, and it's the Ionian or the major scale. Starting on the 2nd note and playing all the way through is Dorian, starting on the 3rd and playing all the way through is Phrygian, the 4th is Lydian, the 5th is Mixolydian, the 6th is Aeolian, the 7 is Locrian. You get the idea. Those are modes. A lot of people get super confused because we hear them and we think that they're different styles of music or different cultures, flavors of music. They're not. It's what our master major scale is. It's what our diatonic system is completely built off of. And the cool thing is they're exceptionally freeing, okay? So if I pick a song here, and this one, these are the jam tracks on the website, by the way. Make sure you go and grab them. These are the modal jam tracks, but these are on the website. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take the A aeolian, okay? Now A aeolian, so A is, or I'm sorry, aeolian of the modes. Make sure you grab the modes chart too. Sorry, I forgot to mention that. Grab your modes chart. Aeolian is number 6. And so if we compare that to our major scale, which has our scale degrees on there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, if A is aeolian and A is the 6th note, what key are we in? How do we find that? Well, we can count up to 7 and then to 8. So I have my A right here, finish off my major scale, 7, 8, I'm still in the key of C. So if you see A aeolian, then you're actually still in the key of C. If I saw D Dorian, okay, so D Dorian, so Dorian's number 2, it's the 2nd mode. And if that's 2, how do I get to 1? Well, I have to go a whole step down, and that takes me to C, so I'm still in the key of C. What if I was in playing in C Lydian, okay? So C Lydian, so Lydian's the 4, and if I were to count down from 4 to 1 or count up to 5, but I'll count down to 1 from a major scale, so I can go to my C, that's my 4, I know my shape in my head, I'm gonna go down to my B, okay? So that's going to be my 3, then my 2 right here is going to be A, and my 1 is gonna be G, so I'm in the key of G. But for this particular jam track, it's in the key of C because it's A aeolian. Let me go ahead and play this a little bit here.
1, 2, 3.
So, what this means now, regardless of the chord progression that they're playing here, because they're playing in something that's A aeolian, I should have the freedom to be able to play any of the 7 modes and have them sound just fine. Let's take a look. Let me play the C major scale first. That's C up top, here down low. Okay, perfect. Now I'm going to take those same notes, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, and C, and play them D through D. So I'm going to use that 2nd shape now. So I'm starting on number 2, which is my D, and I'm going to play my Dorian shape. And I suspect it's going to sound just fine regardless where they're at in this song. So D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D. That sounds fine. Excellent. Moving on. E Phrygian, okay? E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E. Okay, everything in there should sound just fine. Sounds great. Moving on. G Mixolydian, okay? G is the 5. So my C major scale, C, D, E, F, G, okay? So I'm going to play G through G now, but I'm going to use that 5th shape that's on the modes chart there and start on the note G and go G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and everything in there is going to sound fine too. Now A aeolian, okay, which is what this song is actually playing on, is an A aeolian specifically, but we're still in the key of C. So I'm going to take my A minor shape, so number 6 in the key of C, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is A, and I'm going to play my 6th shape, which is my aeolian shape, and the notes are going to be the exact same as the C major scale, just starting on A. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, and everything's going to sound just fine. Let me play through that again. Now, the 7th, B Locrian, which is going to be our only diminished chord here, which we'll talk about in a later video, but from here, I'm going to play the same notes in the C major scale, but just go B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B. Sounds fine. So the Locrian mode sounds just fine as well. What if I start blending them together? Let me go ahead and do something in A aeolian and then G Mixolydian, okay? solo all day on that, no big deal at all, okay? That is going to be the pre-conversation of modes, okay? So modes is taking our our major scale, okay? Identifying whatever the notes are in there. So let's use a different one real quick. So if I play a G major scale, okay? My notes are G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G, okay? I'm going to take those same notes, and now I'm going to start on just the second note and play all those same notes again. So I've got A, B, right? You with me? A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G, A. Exact same notes, and that shape that I just played was that Dorian shape, okay? So that's on the chart. So what I want you guys to work on, because we're gonna come back to notes, or to modes, and continue to dissect this process here so we can start playing by what's called Nashville numbers, okay? And this is a super, super powerful part of your playing. I'd like you to go through all 7 of those shapes. So learn all 7 of those shapes, and then we'll start reducing them and expanding on them from there by using our chromatic scale reduction chart. And I think a lot of those things on there right now are going to start making more sense. So, modes, big part. We're going to continue to look at modes, okay? We're going to be staying in this particular portion for a second. Make sure you stay tuned for our next lesson, which is going to be talking about Nashville numbers and playing by the numbers, and starting to tie in how our modes function by that, how our scale degrees play a really big, crucial role in how we identify what notes that we're going to play. Guys, Ryan here, signing off from BassMatter.com. Super excited about this lesson to be wrapping up here. Now, modes is not the final authority. There are other ways that we can start bending this particular system out there to shape it for a different flavor. But we'll see you guys at the next lesson. Find us online, guys. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Google+. Subscribe to this YouTube channel. We'll see you guys at the next lesson.